Elias had been looking for his brother for as long as he could remember. 9 years old. That was the last time the world made sense. He remembers the car, the hum of the engine, the faint smell of leather and something sweet his mother had sprayed. Luca's voice in the back seat, teasing him, laughing, saying something Elias can almost hear if he tries hard enough. Then, a flash of light, a sound that never really leaves, metal folding into itself, and then nothing. When Elias woke up, Luca was gone. No funeral, no body, no explanation. Just his parents standing at the foot of his hospital bed, looking like they had already lost something they couldn't get back. Your brother is gone. They said it like a fact, not like grief. And Elias, at 9 years old, decided something simple. If no one else was going to look for Luca, he would. Time moved. At least it did for everyone else. Elias stayed 23. He celebrated birthdays because people told him to. He blew out candles. He smiled for photos. But inside, he always felt like he was still waiting. There were gaps, small at first, moments he couldn't fully remember, conversations that felt rehearsed, like he had said those words before, but not recently. Sometimes he'd look at his hands and feel disconnected, like they belonged to someone who had lived more life than he had, but he ignored it because there was something more important: finding Luca. The attic wasn't supposed to matter, just another place in a house full of things his parents didn't talk about. But that night, something pulled him up there. The air was thick, dust floating in narrow beams of light, boxes stacked too neatly, like they had been arranged, not forgotten. Elias moved slowly, carefully. Then he found the first box. Photos. At first they seemed normal. Family pictures, holidays, smiles that didn't quite reach the eyes. Then, he looked closer. Him. In places he had never been. Standing in front of a beach sunset, wearing clothes he didn't own, smiling in a way that felt unfamiliar. His stomach tightened. He flipped to another, a version of him with a small scar on his eyebrow. He touched his own face. Nothing. Another photo. He was older, not by much, but enough. His breathing became shallow. Then, his hand stopped, because in this photo, he wasn't alone. A boy stood beside him. Same eyes, same posture, same bone structure, but softer, younger. Luca. Elias stared at it, waiting for the memory to come back, waiting for something to click. But there was nothing, and that terrified him more than anything. He didn't sleep that night, but he must have, because when he woke up, there was a note on his bedside table. Hey, just one word. Elias stared at it for a long time, trying to remember if he had written it. The handwriting wasn't his. At least, he didn't think it was. The next day, another note. You found the photos. His chest tightened. The room suddenly felt too small. By the third day, he stopped trying to explain it, because the notes kept coming. Don't panic, we've always done this. You just don't remember your turns. Elias began noticing things. Small things. A glass in the sink he didn't leave there. A jacket moved from one chair to another. Food missing from the fridge. Once, he woke up on the couch. He never slept on the couch. And worst of all, his body felt tired. Not the kind of tired from a bad night's sleep. The kind that builds over years. He drives to his parents' house without calling. The same house, the same silence, the same feeling that something had always been wrong there. You need to tell me the truth. His voice cracks. His parents look at each other. Not surprised, just tired. There was an accident, his father says. Elias nods. I know that part. You weren't alone. Silence. You and Luca were both in the car. His heart stutters. What happened to him? His mother looks like she might break, but she doesn't. You survived, she says. Elias feels something cold settle in his chest. And Luca, he asks again. This time, no one answers. Back home, Elias tears through everything until he finds it, a hidden folder, on his own laptop. The first video is short, just him, sitting exactly where he is now, but different. His posture is relaxed, his eyes sharper, aware. I guess you're watching this now, the version of him says. Elias freezes. I told them this would happen. A pause, a small smile. You always come back to this part. Elias checks the file date. His stomach drops. It's from 5 years in the future. He scrolls. More videos, more dates. Older, older, older. His hands shake. No, that's not. He runs to the mirror, and for a split second, he sees it. A face that isn't 23. A life he doesn't remember living. That night, one last note appears. You're not the original. Elias reads it over and over again. You're the one who stayed 9. Everything breaks. The accident didn't just take Luca, it fractured him, split him into pieces. One that grew up, one that adapted, one that carried on, and one that couldn't. One that stayed frozen in that moment, waiting for a brother who was never separate. Elias sits on the edge of his bed. Still, I'm okay, he whispers. And for the first time, he believes it. He stands, walks to the mirror, smiles, but the reflection doesn't match. It's older, sharper, watching him, and behind it, faint, almost gone, a younger version, 9 years old, still waiting, still asking, where's my brother? The camera pulls back, the room fades, white walls, machines, a hospital bed. Elias, older, lies still, monitors blinking softly, a chart at the foot of the bed. Elias Veles, age, 32. Condition, dissociative identity disorder. Active identity, Elias, age 9. And taped beside it, a note, do not correct the patient.